What if I told you that James Gunn's Superman isn't just another reboot? That his take could actually redefine the Man of Steel for a new generation? Stick around because today we're going to review the full trailer for Superman, which is set to release on July 11th, 2025. We're unpacking the high-flying action, the moral questions, and why, even after all these years as a comic book fan, I am totally all in on this one. Hey kids, what is up? Welcome back to Tom Clark Reviews, the only quick hits pop culture podcast hosted by a guy named Tom Clark that looks like this, wearing this, and saying stuff. Before we get started here today, folks, if you will, do me a favor, hit like, subscribe, and turn on those notifications so you don't miss any future content from Boink Studios. Now, let's get to it. The first full trailer for Superman premiered in mid-May, hot on the heels of James Gunn's teaser and a viral concept cut. Now fans finally have a taste of the big screen spectacle. As we know, this is just the first shot out of the gate for the new wave of DC films, with James Gunn of Guardians of the Galaxy, Suicide Squad, and Peacemaker fame bringing his blend of action and humor to the Man of Tomorrow. As I said, I'm all in. I can't wait for this one. Let's talk about the key moments of this trailer. I love the callback to the original 1978 Superman film starring Christopher Reeve and Margot Kidder. I love that they incorporated that here in this film. We've got Lois Lane grilling Superman on the legality of his global interventions, and this hits at a way more grounded, realistic conflict. We're not talking the scorched earth approach from that other guy, where every time we saw like Superman and Batman on screen and Wonder Woman, everything was kind of on fire, like all the time. No, when I say realistic, I mean more down to earth, more real world type setting. As real as you can get with guys wearing capes and whatnot, right? You know what I mean. We've also got another look at Crypto. He's got a great cameo in this trailer, and it promises, to deliver comic relief, but also genuine heart, which is something else I believe that Superman genuinely needs. For me, as I said before, I've been a lifelong comic book guy for years. Superman has never been a relatable character. Batman's always been more relatable because he's a real guy. Superman, who basically is invincible except for, magic and kryptonite, unless there's a third thing now, who knows. But honestly, it's hard to get into that character. It's hard for there to be any real stakes for this guy. And hopefully this film will go a long way to changing that. We also get the monster brawl, a towering CG-enhanced creature attacking Metropolis. This is definitely not your daddy's Superman or Superman Punch. Plus, we've got Nathan Fillion's Guy Gardner, Nicholas Hoult as Lex Luthor, Eddie Gathegi as Mr. Terrific, and Isabella Merced as Hawkgirl. What a cast, am I right? James Gunn's not holding back, kids. We're not just getting Superman and Lois. We're getting a lot more on top of that. But you know that already. Now let's talk about the good, the bad, and the in-between. First, the good. We're getting down to the real stars of this film, kids. David Corenswet's Superman. This guy's already established at the Daily Planet, so this is not an origin story. So we skip the cape in the barn and we don't have to worry about the conversations, and Clark finds the craft and asks the questions. All stuff that made Smallville a really good show. Don't misunderstand me here. But, when you get that in movies after the fact, sometimes maybe can get a little diluted. We don't have to worry about that this time, which is good. We're going from the character's origin straight to the responsibility, which I think is the right move here. Corenswet channels all-star Superman's blend of warmth and authority. Just think Christopher Reeve with modern depth. Also, don't get it twisted. I'm not trying to compare Corenswet to Christopher Reeve, much in the same way we shouldn't have been comparing Brandon Routh to Christopher Reeve. But honestly, Bryan Singer's movie was a little bit tougher because honestly, I always believed that movie was nothing but not just an homage to Christopher Reeve in the 78 Superman film, but like in terms of it being a logical sequel. Again, to this day, I'll never understand the direction of, hey, go act like Christopher Reeve and action. I'm just saying. Let's also talk about the tone of this movie, brought to you, of course, by the director James Gunn. From what we've seen, this movie is balancing epic spectacle with moral gray areas. Like, are we a global police force or a force for good? James Gunn is leaning into that tension, and I, for one, am here for it. We've also got humor being injected, again, thanks to Crypto, which is great. And really, it doesn't undercut the stakes. We don't want too much haha, right? We also don't want too much punchy kicky all the time. There's got to be a balance, you know what I mean, for a well-rounded movie, especially in this genre. Because if these things take themselves too seriously, you're going to be out. I don't care what kind of a fan you are, how deep of a fan you are, it doesn't make a difference. You're going to be out. And you know the casual moviegoer will be out as well. Again, there's got to be a balance. And it looks as though James Gunn has achieved that here. This movie's also been shot IMAX for end-to-end immersion. We're talking full frame, detail crunching heroics that rival Top Gun Maverick. How about that, right? But now let's talk about the bad. Have we suffered from a tease overload with this new Superman film? I mean, we've got two monster encounters, multiple character reveals, and the crypto gag. Could the trailer be playing its hand way too early? By the way, when it comes to teasers, I'm here for the first one. I'm here for the full trailer, and that's it. I don't want the first teaser followed by four other teasers, followed by the full trailer, followed by a couple, two or three more teasers, and maybe another trailer while you're at it. I don't want any of that, okay? I just want the first and the full, and I'm done. Even if I know the IP, even if I know the story, I don't want the entire movie being given away in the trailer. Any of you out there watching streaming shows right now know what I'm talking about. You watch a trailer on Netflix or Max or whatever platform you enjoy. By the time you're done with that trailer, you're like, I feel like I've just seen the whole show. I don't want that personally. I want to wait and see the movie when I get to the theater. Call me crazy. This movie also has to walk a tone tightrope. I mean, we've got early Marvel Cinematic Universe humor versus brooding DC drama. James Gunn has got to find a way to thread the needle between quip heavy banter and the gravitas that Superman demands. This is DC's biggest character. I'm telling you right now. I love Batman. I've always been a Batman guy. But Superman is the icon for a reason, okay? Not that Batman's not freaking great. We all know he is. In my view, in my opinion, he always has been the backbone of DC, okay? Both in the comics and in media, animation, streaming shows, big budget movies, of course. Superman's the guy. You have to take it with a level of seriousness. You don't want to be too much tongue in cheek. As we said earlier, balance, kids, that's the key. Now let's get to the everything in between. Let's talk about Lois. This is Rachel Brosnahan. From first glimpse, she looks fantastic. I mean, looks the part, sounds the part. You know, Lois is feisty. She's hardcore. She doesn't take no for an answer. You know, Margot Kidder did a wonderful job in the original Superman trilogy. I mean, just did a great stuff, man. And that's what we need here. And I feel like hopefully Brosnahan's definitely going to deliver that. I'm very much looking forward to this. I mean, let's be honest. She's not just a love interest. She's the moral compass. She's calling out Superman's unchecked power, which is important. Lex Luthor, Mr. Luthor. If you get that reference, good on you. Luthor here looks great. He's the bad guy, of course. He's in the three-piece suit. Hates Superman, hate everything the guy represents. The part of the trailer where he calls Superman an it and not a man, that's Lex Luthor, kids. Every comic book reader, I don't care who you are, what age you are, you know that's Lex Luthor. They've nailed it, at least so far. We've also got a tease of the Authority in this movie with the engineer. We also know Supergirl's on the way. I'm telling you, man, things are coming. This movie is going to kick things off in a big, bad way. I think we're going to leave this movie with so many, not just Easter eggs, but, you know, seeds planted for the future of the DC universe. Again, another reason to be excited for this movie. By the way, what's your thoughts on the good, the bad, and the in-between? What I missed? Do me a favor. Drop your thoughts in the comments. Let me know. Now let's talk about why this film matters to the DC universe. This Superman movie is chapter 1, the gods and monsters phase of DC's new universe. Superman kicks off with James Gunn's vision at the helm, and its success will shape the entire DC universe moving forward. As we said, this movie is going to plant the seeds, kids. There's no doubt about it. An interconnected future. The Authority, Supergirl, Lobo, all this stuff to come. Batman at some point. How are you a comic book fan not excited for this? Be honest with me. I think we're all going to be left with our jaws wide open. Here's hoping. Now, what are we watching out for in the full film? At least stuff that we can, you know, sort of go ahead and already guess about. Not all the stuff they're going to cram in. We'll be here forever, okay? Because as I said, Easter eggs, teases, you get it. Practical effects versus CGI. James Gunn has promised practical set pieces, so expect real-world stunts mixed with, you know, visual effects for shake and bake authenticity. First you shake, then you bake. Anybody get that reference? Anybody? Show of hands. We've also got moral stakes to look out for here. What will Superman do? Will he choose obedience to humanity's laws or choose to follow his own moral code? And what's that even look like? I'm telling you, kids, that conversation between him and Lois, I think, is going to be a major plot point in that movie. And really, it does open up a lot of interesting, you know, questions and conversations that we as comic book fans have really been having for years. And we'll have them even more once this movie hits. I also love the fact that we got a John Williams nod here, one of the most classic composers. I mean, maybe the most classic composer of all time. John Murphy is the composer for this film, and he weaves in the classic Superman march. I mean, look, once you hear that, it's Superman. I love that it's here. I just love it. I love that it's been included. Again, it's a nod to the older fans and people who grew up with this stuff and who love the original Superman. I'm excited for this movie, kids, in case you can't tell. I mean, it not only promises action and powers and heroes and sets and effects, it promises purpose. This is James Gunn and the DCU's opportunity to actually get this thing off the ground in a big bad way, and this time make it click. All right. I'm not here to bag on Zack Snyder or anybody else for that matter. But look, we went that route. We tried again, scorched earth. All right, we tried all that. It didn't work for whatever reason. I mean, honestly, even if you loved it, it doesn't mean it worked as a whole. I think there's an opportunity here, not only with this movie, with everything that comes afterward, to get the DCU off the ground and do it right this time, as we said. But is this movie going to get it done? We're all going to find out together. So, what do you think? Be honest with me. Are you looking forward to Superman? But before you answer in the comments, in case you haven't already, please keep something in mind. If you hate this movie, you still got the other ones. If you hate what they did with Superman, you still got your comics. If you don't like James Gunn, there will be other directors. Okay. IP, especially when it comes to comic book IP, is not going away. The books are still there, the characters are still there. All the stuff you either grew up with or the stuff that came afterward that you still love, you still have it. Okay. Even if you walk out of this movie thinking it's the worst thing you've ever seen, it'll be okay. The sun will come up tomorrow, the day after this movie drops. And if it doesn't, none of us will be here to know the difference anyway, right? So let's all try to take a breath, be adults, right? That's easy when it comes to, again, dudes wearing capes and, you know, tights and all that stuff. But look, honestly, let's all just take a breath and just try to enjoy it. I think James Gunn's got the right idea in mind. I hope everything comes together and clicks the way it should. And again, when it comes to what you're looking forward to, what you hope to happen, I mean, kids, for me, never been a big Superman guy, never been a huge Superman fan. All right. Always was Batman first. I'm really much looking forward to this movie. In fact, I kind of can't wait till it gets here. But again, let me know what you think. Hit the comments, the good, the bad, the indifferent, whatever you got, leave them there. Let's talk about it. In the meantime, stay tuned for a whole lot more here, kids. And again, if you will, hit like, subscribe, and turn on those notifications so you don't miss any content from Boink Studios. Thanks for watching Tom Clark Reviews, and we'll see you next time.